about the speech and the speaker. Then only you can arouse the interest. Unless you arouse the interest of the audience, you are giving a huge task for the speaker to do it himself. You got to warm up the audience. And lastly, you should then make an outline of your introduction and rehearse it. Both the audience and the speaker will appreciate your efforts. At the conclusion of the presentation, when the speaker has finished speaking, and if you're sitting here as an MC, stand and from that position lead the applaud. Return to the lectern, shake the speaker's hand, and continue leading the applause as the speaker leaves the lectern. Mention a few words of thanks on behalf of the audience to the speaker, and briefly compliment as he is sitting down. Isn't it a beautiful way to do it? It's here. I love it. I hope we can make it interesting. It needs effort. As much effort as the speaker puts in himself. Just to recap, if you're going to be the MC, call the speaker, talk to him what he's going to speak about, find out what kind of expertise he is going to come with, and don't give the speech out, but pipe the interest. Thank you. Mr. Bharat Das, can I interrupt your message?
In recording.
Okay, I'll move on. The president, she gave a very interesting story based on her own experience. And you know, her English is great. And the way she puts it, I could actually see her. I could actually be there. I could feel that I'm there. The 4 days up and 4 days down, and acclimatization and freezing and all that, and range of mountains, all of that I could see. You said, reached to this destination. I think you wanted just to say reached this destination. Then you repeated the introduction, which I think you may not like to do it again. Otherwise, it is something that I'll remember. She connected it so well to the Toastmasters. Can you all give her a... Mr. Bharat Das! Are you ready?
Yes, yes.
No more messaging now? You're not even married, you don't have a girlfriend, who are you messaging to?
Miss the food.
But there's no one here, you message this guy first. Okay, Mr. Bharat Das used beautiful language. He was talking about Mahatma Gandhi and he said, should I smile? Okay. He said, imbibe in our lives the values of Mahatma Gandhi. Inculcate these principles. And then he gave a quote, a nice quote. Forgive me, my mouth is dry, I'm going to take some water. Thank you. Coming to the MC, this gentleman looks like so relaxed behind the lectern. And he speaks without notes. And he spoke about enjoying the moment, and yet he gave it a balance with discipline. Something that we have carried home value. Enjoy it. And yet, don't forget about the discipline. And I think the way he puts things, his body language, his modulation, makes you listen. Let's give him an applause, please. Mr. Devakar, I didn't see your hands going together. May I request Ms. Sheetal to give us her evaluation on the icebreaker, please.
Good evening, Toastmasters, and Mr. Roshan in particular. Firstly, I absolutely enjoyed your speech. It was one of the best icebreakers that I've heard in a very long time. And it was so interesting. I learned so much from you and from that speech. And I would love to congratulate you on that to begin with. It was so funny. It was so entertaining. And you took the smallest, most mundane things and you made them so interesting that people were laughing. And I think that is the sign of a very great and talented speech writer, and you delivered it just as well. How well did the audience get to know the speaker? I really liked how you talked about so many things. You talked about your hopes, your dreams, and everything else in between as well. And I do think that the audience did get to know you really well. I did kind of miss out a little bit on what are your favorite hobbies, and I think you did not really name your children, which I would have loved to know. But I think you gave us enough information to get us all interested, and I'm sure we were all looking forward to the break to come up and to get to know you a little bit better. And what Mr. Vinod told us about the introductions, I think you did a great job about introducing yourself to arouse the interest, and that's what I always knew that you were there, but now I really want to talk to you. And did the speech reflect adequate preparation? I think it did. You did not use any notes. You did not stumble anywhere. You didn't forget your speech. So I thought it was fabulous. Did the speaker speak audibly and clearly? I think you had a very great voice. I had no problems hearing what you had to say at all. Now coming to the opening body and the conclusion, I thought you had a great opening about daddy dying and how you connected it to the hair dyeing. I thought that was fabulous, and I think it really gave the audience an idea that you're a very creative person, and I really enjoyed it. I felt that at certain places though, you could have, the transitions could have been a little bit better, so I felt like at times you kind of just jumped from one place to another, and I think you can work on that. Did the speaker use notes? No, you did not. Now coming to how I felt you could improve. To begin with, you were leaning on the lectern and you had your hands on the lectern, and I felt that kind of made you look nervous. Though you had all the adequate preparation, your speech was beautifully written, I do not think that you needed to have your hands on the lectern. So I feel if you take a step back or even move in front of the lectern, it would be great for you, and I think you would feel more comfortable because you can use your hands, and that's what the sign is of a great speaker, is that they look comfortable on stage, and I think you have it all, but because it was there, I think it was distracting you. Also, your body language was slightly shifty at the beginning. So you were shifting your weight from side to side for the first couple of minutes, but it went away at the end. Later, you got really comfortable. So I think if you can fake it for the first 30 seconds, I think you should be fine. Also, I really feel that if you use your arms more, you can get your message across a little bit better. And the last improvement that I would have for you is to wait for the MC to come back on stage before you leave the stage. Generally, that would make sure that the stage is not left empty. Then coming to what I loved about the speech, I absolutely loved every single part of it. You handled the distractions really well. You seem like somebody who's been speaking for a very long time. And I think you left everyone in the audience with a lot to learn. You used the metaphor of the day, which is really difficult. And yeah, I'm so happy that you're a part of our club, and I'm sure all of us are really looking forward to getting to know you better. So thank you so much for that wonderful speech. I congratulate you, and I hand it over back to you.
Ellen says, wow, you're lucky to have this young lady as an evaluator. I wish when I gave the icebreaker, she was there to evaluate me. And with all those superlatives that you gave, I would have had a head like this. And I would have thought, I am Obama already. What I would like to point out is, in our club, we use too many superlatives. If you give everything away, you can use it, but I'll give examples when it is used. It was the best speech I ever heard. It was the most wonderful speech. It was fantastic. It makes the speaker feel he's achieved everything or she's achieved everything and there's nothing more to achieve. You have given away everything. You can point out all the good things without giving away everything. Therefore, there is still potential left for a person to achieve. I would say this was such a beautiful, very detailed and very appropriate evaluation. Can we give a big hand? I watch everybody's hands. These hands, mouth is for speaking and hands are for clapping, sir. I want to see the hands together. Give us your energy. Let me just say a few things about Mr. Roshan Matthews' speech that she has not able to say. I'll give you specific instances. You got a lot of laugh from us, sir, and laughing really relaxes us and makes us enjoy the speech. And it came naturally. But at times you were expecting a laugh and the laugh didn't come, and I could see you were expecting it. When you try to, when you are making the audience laugh, don't expect, let it come. You spoke about UK, University of Kerala. Reminds me of items being sold in Bombay in the late 60s, early 70s called Made in USA. Ulhasnagar, nothing against you, sir. I liked the way you said about albatross sleeping while still flying. I find a lot of people sometimes sleeping here, even though they seem to be listening. Then about your singer. Are you a bathroom singer? Do you sing at all?
No, not at all.
I think you should start. It will help you in the motivation. Then, six-pack family. Do you have 6 children? Six-pack family.
Six-pack abdomen.
Oh, you didn't say abdomen. You said six-pack. I thought you had 6 children.
He said six-pack abs.
Abdomen.
You
Abs.
said abdomen?
He said abs.
Abs. All right. Okay. May God give you if you want 6.
Well, family pack is what I said.
Okay. Now you said you're very happy with your life and you want to have the same parents and same wife and same children. I was hoping you would say the same to spouses also. Very interesting speech. I just pulled you like a little bit, joked with you. Let's give him a good hand. Mr. Krishna Kishore. Krishna Kishore, I don't know how to introduce you unless I talk to you gopis, but can you please give your evaluation? Good evening, Toastmasters, and wonderful guests, and TK Ramesh in particular. And he did not respond to your salutation. Make them respond.
Good evening.
Good evening again.
Good evening.
I'm sure all of you will agree with me that if you had asked probably say Nityananda to talk about delayed gratification with this kind of personality, he would have messed it up to the best possible extent. Today, T.K. Ramesh spoke so wonderfully about the topic that it has made all of us, in fact it has made me to see where I need to include this in the process of bringing up my kid. I am evaluating the speech on 4 aspects: the topic itself, the impact on the audience, the speech delivery, and the knowledge about the topic. Coming to the topic itself, it was on a social issue, and it is very relevant to the current situation. We see a lot of things happening all around the world, the Delhi incident, and there have been incidents even after that. And it's a very interesting topic for all of us to think about. It is something that we all need to think more on and see where we can take that into consideration. So for that, let's give a big round of applause to Ramesh. Coming to the delivery part, the speech delivery was done very wonderfully. The use of simple words, the use of the examples. The examples used were such that we could relate to it very easily. And the research done, the references to the psychologist conversations with the children, and Freud, the narration of the Freud research, and how if the delayed gratification is not done, how it will impact in the teenage age in terms of the disorders that we get. So all those were delivered very well. And the confidence with which he spoke and the amount of research done was excellent. The other aspect that I liked is the focused approach. Nowhere in the entire speech I could see that there was a diversion from the main topic. So that helped all of us to remain focused on what he is talking about, and we could connect well with the topic. The depth of the study done. There were a lot of examples given and a lot of facts were narrated. There was a general view given, and the various mental states like that ego and superego and the various mental disorders that you can get. So it gives a feeling that Ramesh is growing as a psychologist. This speech also goes well with the work that he does. He is into HR, so he can observe a lot of people who can exhibit such kind of behavior in the industry. Lastly, the impact on the audience. There are a lot of examples starting from the Ashwin and the elderly man contrast, the conversations with the psychologist, the Delhi incident. So all of us were able to connect well with the topic, and it was a very interesting topic, and it was wonderfully delivered so that we all could understand the importance of delayed gratification. The two areas that I felt which could have been attended were pauses. There could have been pauses so that the audience could relate to the incidents. It could be with respect to the disorder or the Delhi incident, that if there were some pause, it would have allowed them to reflect on the incidents in their life. And the other one is, I felt the example, the story which was narrated in the beginning did not match well with the entire rest of the speech. I felt
so maybe that is something that that can be checked on. Otherwise, for the experience of T.K. Ramesh, it was a well delivered speech, a very complex subject to talk on, but he delivered it very well. I hope to listen to his speeches in the future.
Mr. Krishna Kishore seems to be a seasoned evaluator. I think he did justice to the evaluation, I would say. But Mr. Krishna Kishore, you said his speech was given very wonderfully. These are two superlatives. You don't use two superlatives. It was done very well, okay, or was given wonderfully. Not very wonderfully. Two superlatives are done together. And then you got me a little thinking, is he going to give up his HR job and become a psychologist? I was listening, hoping that you would say that he's growing as a speaker. If we were all psychologists, I would say, yeah, he's growing as a psychologist. But I would have liked to have the word speaker said instead of the psychologist. It would have connected more with what we are here for. You really got me interested, and I had gone through that experience when, I have 3 sons, and they were all born babies. And they all did their thing when we least expected. But then you jumped and came to the grandfather, 60, 70, 72. And you said the old man had to go, and the driver was saying, wait. I think driver was very insensitive. He doesn't understand. There's no joy for an old man to hold on. There's no delayed gratification there. All that is there is pain and suffering. There's no delayed gratification for an old man to hold on. Okay. And then also, like Mr. Krishna Kumar pointed out, though the 2 stories, the first 2 episodes you gave, were attention getters, but they did not seem to connect with the delayed gratification. But later on, when you start talking about marshmallows, that's the time I begin to taste the sweetness of the marshmallows and your example. And you connected very well. You said 1/3 of them had delayed gratification, and it was traced that they turned out to be successful. That was good. And of course, you spoke about Sigmund Freud and IE and ego and superego, and AD and obsessive compulsive disorder. I don't know, many of us understand what is the meaning of attention hyperactivity disorder. If you just explain a little bit, then whatever you said would have meaning to those people who didn't know. Also, obsessive compulsive disorder, if you had just given some little bit of information on that, would have become part of the knowledge for those who didn't know. Otherwise, it just goes as a jargon. And then, the only one, most of us mispronounce this word, we call it resume. In English it is resume, but the same spelling in French is resume. And then when you talked about the recent incident which has not only got the attention of the entire India, but also Europe and been spoken about. And you wanted to bring out delayed gratification, and you said, instead of saying the guys who did the gang rape did not understand the meaning and the discipline of delayed gratification. You didn't bring them up. You just said about the 23-year-old girl. I think your reference would have been better understood if you had pointed out the guys instead of the girl. Besides that, I think there was a lot of take-home value. We are all victims of instant gratification. And the very fact that delayed gratification is like investing early and getting rewards later has been a very good message for us. And I thank you for that. Can we all really put our heads together and give Thank you. And I would say that next time, let us keep that way of introducing. Let's do our homework if we are going to be here as an MC. With that, I hand it over. Oh yeah, thank you. All right, may I call upon the assignees? I'm sorry. The assignees, Ms. Shivani, please. Louder, 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 louder.
Okay, people have kept me really busy today. Starting with the sergeant at arms, he had 2 hours and he said means Bharatas, and he also said 3 likes. President said 1 having traveled from Bangalore, that's where you said But till then it was a wonderful speech. And then Secretary Kanusha, you said and twice. MC Apu, I think you pretty much did a good job because you had just 1 which was the best of all the speakers that we had today. And also in the prepared speech section, Roshan Matthews being the icebreaker, not 1 single R, no filler words, excellent. P.K. Ramesh, no R's and no Ms. Table topics. We had 1 short pause from Mr. Raju and from Divakar, I lost count. You had so many R's and M's and something. You use that word something a lot. I think maybe you need to make a conscious attempt not to use them because your content is so good and all these R's and M's and everything just distract from that. Santosh Paul, 2 R's, GE. He was really good towards the beginning, but towards the end where you got, I think, trying to wrap up the session, maybe you started using more R's and M's and the count went up to 7.
Oh, thank you.
And Sheetal, I think you and the Bakar can compete because you would have 7 M's, 8 R's, and you used really 4 times. So I think we need to consciously keep away from those.
Who is the winner, basically?
I would have to say Sheetal. Sheetal took it. She needs the arcade today. Krishna Kumar, the evaluator for Mr. K. Ramesh, you had 9 R's and you use the word and very often. And I think you're trying to buy time to say the next thing, so you say and I just used it now. That's where I stopped.
I would say to Mr. Divakar, you have to do something about that something. and Mr. Krishna Kumar and Mr. Krishna Kumar, you'll have to do something about that end. Krishna Kishore, thank you.
Time up.
May I call upon Mr. Ram Gopal, the grammarian, please? Put your hands together, please.
Mr. General Evaluator, Toastmasters and guests. Somehow a job has already been done by the team. But still, I have noted a couple of things. Some of the good usages were dynamic young man enjoying his journey to reach his goal. Icebreaker is the one where you break the ice. You are like an albatross. You would rather be in the coffin than speaking. I felt today the language was very good. I could grasp only one mistake. Conspiring to India disrupt. I think that should be conspiring to disrupt India. Otherwise,
Okay, Mr. Timer, Mr. Brain, please. Put your hands together, please. Mr. Timer.
Yes. Today the meeting started late by 3 minutes 32 seconds. The Sergeant Arms, he took 3 minutes 36 seconds. If I'm right, he needs 2 minutes, so he overshot by 1 minute 36 seconds. I'm trying to time the overshooting of the time also. The President took 4 minutes 58 seconds, 2 seconds within time. The first speaker, all the speakers qualified, all the table topic speaker qualified for the table topic, so you can vote for all of them. Mr. Roshan, the first speaker, he took 6 minutes 12 seconds within time. The first table topic speaker, he took 1 minute 48 seconds. The second speaker table topic took 1 minute 42 seconds. The third table topic speaker, Divakar, took 1 minute 54 seconds. Santosh, 1 minute 2 seconds, just 2 seconds within being qualified. And the snacks were not there, so it was the shortest tea break, only 4 minutes 42 seconds. The MC took 9 minutes 12 seconds, well within time. I think the GE has taken 24 minutes. And Sheetal, the evaluator, has taken 4 minutes 9 seconds, again overshot by 1 minute 9 seconds. The evaluator also has overshot by 1 minute 28 seconds. He has taken totally 4.5 minutes. Yes, that's it. Okay.
Now comes the time to win a ribbon. Our listener, Mr. Venkats. Put your hands together, please.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
What did our Sergeant at Arms, Mr. Bharatdasa, ask us to have? What concept? What value? Yes? Yes, correct. Our President, Ms. Mrinalini, and her friends went trekking in Himalayas. Where did they set up their base camp? Little correct. I want as much detail as possible.
Hands, please, hands.
Okay, I'll give you that. It's
Got it.
Maheshwar in Uttarakhand district. What was the glacier they went to see? Indari Glacier. Very good.
Okay, between the three of them.
Between the three of you.
1, 2, 3.
It's a very complicated question. How many siblings did Mr. Roshan have? No,
Only those three, nobody else. No, if you didn't raise your hands before,
They failed
don't
by
raise it
the
down.
Who raised the hand first?
You, anybody you like.
Change.
First.
1, 2, 3. Among the three, only among
Three
the
more.
three, yes.
Correct.
Okay, Mr. Ram Gopal. With that, I hand it over to our MC. Thank you. I
I had a really great time today as the MC. A lot of fun. I would like to hand over to the President to conclude the meeting.
Thank you, Apu, for doing such a great job. And before I announce the winners, I would like to say that I had been for the BT's installation, and our DTMs, that's Ramesh and Satyanarayan Raju, have been doing such a great job there. But unfortunately, they were not present, and I was present, and I was happily receiving all the accolades that were meant for them. And I also received 2 little tokens of appreciation, which I would like to present to them right now. We have made our club proud by mentoring BT to such great heights. So please put your hands together for TK Ramesh. Satyanarayan Raju. I would also like to mention that our Vice President and the Sergeant at Arms both are abroad, but still our club is doing fine because we have our Associate Vice President Sheetal and our Associate Sergeant at Arms Bharat Dasa, who are doing a great job. There might be a little bit of slip-ups, but I think they are doing a great job, and we should really appreciate it. Ram Gopal has an announcement to make.
Toastmasters, we have started a speechcraft in APD for the staff of APD, and it will be for the first